guys? It's your boy Maiev here with Panda, Disco, and Binzi. We're now in for the second season of Rune Royale.
Yeah, keep going, keep going. Come on.
I don't know what to say after that, but yeah. Hope you guys are excited.
Yeah, what's up, Twitch chat? Maiev is here. Maiev, back again with us. After his absence last week, unfortunately, that means Eki is now out of town. I guess we can't always have everybody. So yeah, welcome everybody to the Rune Royale Season 2 stream. I've been away for a little bit, not having the best time in the world, but as I understand it, there's been some major changes to Evo. Is that correct, Maiev?
Yeah,
Okay,
a lot
sure.
of stats or mechanics have been added. Like, or should I discuss it now?
Yeah, give us a brief rundown of the different mechanics
Yeah.
that were changed.
So you're no longer able to insta kill a dragon. Dragons have now HP. So whenever you get close to another dragon, you're both slowed down until one of you runs out of HP, and then that's where the kill happens. Some rune words were also implemented, like Lore Keeper, Flow, Fly Wings, Smoke, and Beacon. Additional mechanics like avoid death penalty, double pickup chance, increase health on kill. And if you guys have noticed, once you've logged into Rune Evolution, you're instantly set to North America server. You could change it to Asia by simply logging out and hitting the escape button to switch to the servers.
Yeah, so speaking of Asia, Rune Royale Season 2, we are going to be on the Asia servers today. But I just wanna ask. I haven't had time to really jump into Evo much. I do wanna ask. So, you spoke about having HP bars and not having instant kills anymore. What exactly happens if you are a Drake and you run your bar like basically empties? Do you devolve or do you die?
Yeah, you devolve. So if you guys have already also noticed that the names are not always shown, and you're also seeing
Oh,
the
names.
evolution bar of your opponents.
Oh,
Unlike before, where it was hidden.
okay, that's a big change. That's a big change. So now maybe we'll get to see more players potentially going after some of their strongest competitors, or maybe they'll go after their weakest competitors. Who knows? Do you feed on the strong? Do you try to battle for the battle against the top players, or do you feed on the weak? Who knows? I guess
do you avoid the best players and try and just run away and hide and survive as long as possible, a la me.
Well, I don't know about long as possible, but I don't know. You seem to be quite a magnet for the top players.
I do indeed. Yeah, they see my name and they target me, so I'm probably dreading this update. Though at least, as Maya pointed out, we do have the change whereby it's not just instant kills. There is now a HP bar in the background there working away. So that gives me some comfort. Hopefully I can load up on some items, maximize that, and maybe even survive one of my many run-ins. Who knows? But I think it's a really, really big change. Definitely something that should impact the tournament quite well tonight. To see that kind of influence, how that's affected our players, whether that's changed any of their game styles. We're expecting to see some of the regular competitors, of course, taking part. So it'd be interesting to see how they've adapted, what kind of equipment they're wearing as well. By all means, if you are taking part in the Rune Royale, maybe afterwards, I appreciate you might want to keep these things close for now. But do, make sure you share on social media what your setup was, Let us see your equipment, what kind of moves you're going for. I don't think it's going to give you a competitive disadvantage sharing that information now for the next Room Royale, or even over the course of the season, because of all the new attributes we'll be releasing over the course of the month as well. So yeah, by all means, let us see what it is you've got equipped. Really excited to see that, and tag us on social media, all the Rune accounts.
Oh, no.
Hey guys, so
Hey.
I got a couple tips for you guys as well. So you can kill other dragons even as a dragonling. So you can kill the bigger dragons even when you're a small dragon. So if there's like 3 small dragons close to a big dragon,
Wait.
it is possible to.
Did the stream go offline?
Yeah.
Why did the stream go offline? I have 0 drop frames. It wouldn't be
No, it's back on.
it wouldn't be a stream if nothing went wrong. I literally have 0
It's
drop
back on.
frames. Okay, we're back on Twitch chat.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, so the tip was that you can attack other big dragons even when you're a small dragon. So you can actually gang up on the golden dragon now. Before it wasn't very feasible to do kind of teamwork against the golden dragon. You'd be risking your life and there's like low chance of killing the dragon. But now you actually can do that. So that's one thing. The second thing is that the islands are way more sticky. If you touch an island, you're going to be stuck, and there's a high chance somebody's going to come and kill you. So you want to be very careful with the islands. And what else? There was something else, but I forget. Well, so just if another player has a Hellfire on, or like a Lionheart item, their health will go up. So it is possible that you might get into a battle with somebody who their health will go up when they get a kill. So it is possible to go into battle with somebody and not get the kill, even though you thought you were going to get it, because their health has been increased. And also, when you do want to get the kill, you need to stay on them. You can't just like fly by them and get the kill. You have to stay close to them to get that kill.
Yeah, so it definitely sounds to me like there's been a lot of changes. Again, I haven't really gotten a chance to try it out, so it'll be very interesting to see what the tournament's going to look like, to see how different the game is played, or maybe people will play the same. It's really hard to say. I mean, how long has the changes been out? For about a week or so?
No, actually, it's only been for 2 days, but I noticed that most of the regulars did actually have a chance to play for the most part. So I think that people, it's not a big change for them. To be honest, most people are still playing the way they normally play. Like, the meta hasn't really set in yet. Most people are just like, I'm a big dragon and I'm gonna go attack a small dragon. Oh no, I'm small, I'm gonna get away.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be cool to see. Let's go on and look at the rules. They're gonna be mostly the same as always. Rune Royale Season 2, of course, this is gonna be in Asia. The date is obviously today. We're starting late as always. Everything is exactly the same. The prize pool, $100 with a big chunk of that going to first place. We're going to be playing 6 games of Evolution with a 5-minute break and then 6 more games. The first and 7th game is going to be Deathmatch. Let's see how Deathmatch plays with the new kill mechanics. The points distribution is going to be the same. 10 points for first, 7 points for second, 5 points for third, 3 points for fourth, and 1 point for fifth. And again, this month we're going to be trying out the automated scoreboard. Hopefully everything is going to be working properly this time. And yeah, let me go ahead and squeeze Disco back a little bit. I don't know how that got messed up there. It was quite large for a second. And yeah, everybody, I mean, obviously you guys can join and leave as you see fit, but the more that you play, the more points that you will get and the higher chances that you guys will have to win. After the tournament, we're going to be doing a special 100 rune word craft for the top 10 placing players of the regular season of Evolution Season 2. If you guys did place in the top 10, Actually, let's go ahead and look at the standings. That's probably pretty important. Let me bring up the standings.
Those standings are.
We got
You
K.
have to pull that up from Discord because it's been changed since then, right?
Yeah, no problem. I got a screenshot of it. We have Chaos Smith in first place, taking home the cube with 94,560 points. Sassy Boy, unfortunately, just missing out on the top spot yet again. 88,000 points. Lay third, 44,000 points. Donovan with 40,000. Mr. Buggins taking home fifth place. We did decide to award fifth place with the cube this season as well. Zoe in sixth. I know that was a very close battle. I saw Zoe was actually in fifth right before the Rune Royale, or right before the season ended, but Mr. Buggins did end up getting it. Ruzar in seventh. Crams, that's a new name, in eighth. IQ Ballerman and Overhaul ninth and 10th. So if you guys are in Twitch chat, if you guys are in the top 10, let us know what rune words you guys want me to craft. If we get a consensus vote, we'll go ahead and craft that. If not, Maiev will decide.
And I think it's just worth spending, a moment or two looking at that leaderboard, because it tells, so many stories. You've got that, close fought battle, bearing in mind it's over the course of a month, between Sassy Boy and Chaos Smith for that first spot. Chaos Smith edging it out there at the end. You've got Lay third fairly strongly in third, actually quite unmatched there. And then this, really close fought battle for fifth place. As Panda mentioned, it was decided that not only the winner, Chaos Smith, would be getting a Founder's Cube, but also whoever came in fifth place would be grabbing one of those two. So that led to this really fierce start-stop playtime from all, a handful of players, and actually came down to so few points as well. We're talking fractions of a odd here, decimal places collected over the course of a season, really determining who got that fantastic additional prize. So congratulations to Mr. Buggins for somehow managing to sneak right into the middle of Donovan and Zoe there. But also, as Panda said, seeing new names, Crams on there as well, still being competitive, to get a new name, not just right at the bottom of the leaderboard, but actually in 8th place against all of the competitors who took part in season 2. And to do so with a fairly substantial lead, in fact, or gaps, I should say, between then the following 9th and 10th places. It's great to see new faces taking part and having a chance and putting that time in. And look forward to seeing what Crams can do in season 3. And anybody else who wishes to come along and have a go.
Okay, so just again, if you guys are in the top 10, so Chaos Smith, Sassy Boy, Lay, Donovan, Mr. Buggins, Zoe, Ruzgar, Crams, IQ Ballerman, and Overhaul. If you guys are in Twitch chat, let us know what rune word you guys want us to craft for you. Any of the available to craft rune words is fair game. So let us know. If you guys don't say anything before Rune Royale starts, I'll make Maiev choose. Mr. Buggins says ignition. Is ignition one of the available rune words to craft? I didn't see it on the page, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I can craft ignition.
Okay, so ignition is available. So, yeah, I'll give you guys a few more minutes before we decide whether we do ignition or not. Maiev votes for exile. Unfortunately, Maiev is not in the top 10. Your vote only counts if nobody else votes. Okay. Anything else that we're missing out on? I think I'm ready to get started pretty shortly.
Yeah, indeed. I think the only thing I guess to mention, seeing as we're talking about seasons, is that yes, of course, absolutely, there will be a season 3 of Rune Evolution. and that will be beginning immediately after the Room Royale. So it's now been decided, or from at least for this season, that the Room Royale will not count towards your season rankings. So it's kind of like a reset event between seasons is how we'll be working for it for the time being. That may change in the future, as you know, but for now that's what we're going with. So take part in the competition, go all out, and then straight afterwards we'll be starting season 3. In terms of the prizes and distribution, everything like that, we'll do a formal announcement in the next 24 hours or so following the start of season 3. So do start, just playing away. I'm sure you want to get a good start to the season and start off well. So yeah, best of luck to everyone for season 3, and of course best of luck in everyone tonight for the Room Royale, or today in some places.
Okay, so I see 1 vote for Ignition by Mr. Buggins, and then 1 vote for Flare by IQ Ballerman. Unfortunately, nobody else is voting, so it looks like Maiev might get to choose. I don't know. I'll say if we get 2 more votes.
Ballerman, say Flare.
Yeah,
Mr.
but
Buggins
we have 1 vote
seems
for
to
Flare,
be
1 vote for
voting
Ignition.
For Ignition,
You know?
as well. So we've
So
got
do a split,
even split.
50-50.
So 50 crafts of Ignition and 50 crafts of Flare? Or how do we want to do that? Or do we flip a coin?
I think that works, and then give out the 10 best overall from whichever 2 items it is.
But what if Mr. Buggins ends up getting what if Mr. Buggins ends up getting a Flare instead of the Ignition that he wanted?
That is the power of democracy.
We have Sassy Boy on the stream. Maybe he could decide it for us.
Sassy Boy to Smoke. Unfortunately, Smoke is not one of the available
We can-
rune
we
words.
can
So.
craft
Sassy Boy's smoking something.
Okay, you know what? How about
Oh,
this?
it's
How about
kind of
this? If nobody else votes, then Maiev will decide whether we do Ignition or Flare.
I'll wait until we craft. So if no one
Okay.
actually.
Okay,
votes,
sure. Yeah. We can wait. We
when-
can
when
wait
the
until
time
the
that,
end.
We're crafting.
Yeah, that's fine. We can wait. We can wait until the end. Then that works as well. So everybody, do get on Asia. Rune Royale is going to be on Asia. Give you guys a few minutes to get in, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, my game is not letting me scroll.
Oh, so we have now 2 votes for Ignition. Sassy Boy and Buggins. Alright, so we still have... Oh no! So no Scared wanted Flare.
We are still
but you-
tied between Ignition and Flare, is that right?
You
So
guys
it's still
can't
50-50.
You can't have
It's
2
still
votes. You
50.
can't have a vote for Exile and Flare. You have to choose one or the other. Come on, guys.
Yeah, make it easy for us.
What? It seems like I'm not able to zoom out and spectate anymore.
So Desires swept in with another vote for
For
Ignition.
Ignition. So we have 3
So
votes now for Ignition.
is in the lead by a vote.
But
Come
Desai
on, make
was
things
not one of the
complicated
top
for
10
us.
players.
Pop up if you're in the top 10.
No.
Desai was
Desai
not in the
is
top
Zoe.
10.
Desai is Zoe, right? So
No, they're different people.
Yeah.
They're different people. You can't vote. You can't have somebody else's
yeah,
vote.
Desai. You need to ask Zoe to
Yeah, Zoe has to be the
log
one to
into
choose.
Twitch.
Ah, man, I can't. Okay, are you guys able to zoom in and out? It seems like I am unable to zoom in and out.
What,
Zoom
when
works on the latest
spectating?
builds.
What about my Christmas hat build?
Your build shouldn't change at all.
Yeah, it shouldn't make a difference, right?
No? Yeah, should work.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I just had to alt enter and now it's working. Okay, where is everyone? I don't see that many dragons in. Come on, guys. We gotta get started soon.
Yeah, hopefully you guys are safe and was not affected by the typhoon.
Oh yeah, maybe a lot of people
Indeed.
Yeah,
don't have power right now. That could be that could be possible, right?
it's possible.
Yes, we do, of course, hope that everyone is safe, um, friends and family.
Yeah, don't oh, what was the saying that people say in Houston? It's like, don't drown, turn around. Which basically means if there's water and you don't know how deep it is, don't drive into it. I think that's one of the
Yeah.
leading causes of death, and from hurricanes in Texas at least. I'm assuming it's probably very similar in other places as well. Don't drown, turn around, guys.
I have no one's from Marikina. There's a place here that whenever there's a typhoon, houses gets like um, submerged in water up to the first floor, which is a very common thing.
Okay, I see a few more people in. Go ahead and hide the scoreboard a little bit since it's not going to be showing up right now. Okay, a few more people in. Maybe we just give it another minute or so before we go ahead and start Rune Royale. You're gonna die, Disco.
I'm not even in the game. I went in and it was
Are you not? I do see you.
no.
Monk just
Gonna-
killed you.
It's a blue pixelated. Well, it was just really, really. I don't know. Looked like a 16-bit by 16-bit on my monitor. I don't know what was going on. I'm playing on the web version. I've never tried that before. I thought I'd see if I can get spectate mode working. So I can actually
Spectate won't-
watch
no,
the tournament real time.
Spectate won't work on the web client, but the YouTube and Twitch are streaming right now. Twitch is only a few seconds behind. So, Rune Evolution, twitch.tv/Rune Evolution.
Well, see, I normally do watch this Twitch stream and then commentate from that. I was hoping not to do so with a few seconds delay for a change, but we've been doing it for almost a year so far, 3/4. So why not continue?
Okay, it looks like we have quite a bit of dragons in the game now. So, yeah. Are you on the mod panel by any chance, Maiev or Benzi?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, yeah. Can you go ahead and change it to deathmatch, and that'll be the first round of Rune Royale.
Okay, deathmatch.
Make
and
sure-
on God mode.
Yeah, make sure we start the scoreboard as well.
Okay, I'll start it. Start Royale. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, cool.
Now see the scoreboard.
Okay, so we are starting. I just want to double check on my end to make sure that it is working, and it is. You guys are gonna. Okay, I'm just not gonna show that box until the end of the first round. Okay, so my first time watching Evolution with the new kill mechanics. It looks like the new normal just died. Okay, so it looks like their HP. The HP bars drop really fast, right?
Yeah, it has to drop pretty fast, otherwise it's really slow.
Okay, yeah. So it does drop really fast. So it seems like, it seems like it's actually very similar to before. Like, it's not instant kill, but it's like close enough. And it might.
What's also happening is you're losing HP at the same time. So actually, a kill kind of devolves you slightly.
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing.
Ah,
So
yes. I just saw Zoe devolve as he was trying to kill Loma.
it's a very strategic, do you actually want to go for that double kill there? Because you've got to collide with two other dragons, therefore depleting your health bar on both occasions. And how you're going to set yourself up equipment-wise for that, load up on attributes, but then situationally as well, do you need to then immediately go for sprites afterwards? Or are you going to try and chance it for a third kill? Might be tricky on that, I think.
Even for one kill, you're seeing some people starve, and the reason is because they go for a kill, but they don't have enough health to actually finish the kill, so they starve themselves. They'll either get a kill and starve, or they'll starve in the middle of the kill.
So what is the hitbox for the for doing damage? Is it the same as like you have to touch them, or is it bigger?
It's increased 30%, and it's just by touch. So like there's a radius around every player.
Okay, so yeah, so you don't have to actually be in contact with them anymore. You just have to be like right next to them, right?
Right next to them. It's the same as before, but plus 30%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll
and,
make it.
Do you do different damage if you're a higher evolved dragon? So do you,
Not anymore, because it was so punishing against dragonlings. And the thing is if you're a drake, you already have way more HP. So it's not really totally fair to like do more damage.
okay.
So I think we're going to see some really interesting gameplay, you know, depending on what our players have gone for. I think we can see some players going for those, you know, additional movement bursts. Based on evolution, I think seems to be quite popular. I've noticed so far. Maybe they've also doubled up on the movement burst on kill as well. So perhaps less favoured actually due to the HP mechanics. I wonder if we've seen a switching around of loadouts as the changes.
Wow, a lot of people are
how
dying
people are
or
staying on top of
starving.
that.
Well, look at Sassy Boy. He already had like 7 kills.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there's a lot more action going on compared to before. I don't know if that's because of the changes to the kill mechanics, or if that's due to the items. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot of kills going on here.
It's
Yeah,
the
sorry.
mechanics. I have it up 24/7, and ever since the HP change, people have become kind of kamikaze against each other.
I just saw something very interesting. So Razar was getting hit by Overhaul, but then I guess Overhaul didn't finish the kill, so he didn't end up getting the points for it, which is pretty sad, I guess. Poor guy.
I do want to create this, so if you damage them within 1 second of them dying, you get the kill. I think that's fair.
I think so, yeah. Oh, wait, a bunch of kills going around, but everyone's starving. No one's dying. Wait, no. Wait, so wait, what? Wait, so if you see starve on the bright side, does that mean that someone got killed, or does that mean they starved? Maybe they have been getting kills, but I've been seeing the word starved, and I think that they're starving, but they're not.
No, they're starving. So what happens is that somebody near them stole all their HP,
Yeah.
and then they just starved.
Yeah. That's what it looked like. So Sassy Boy did end up taking the first round though. And now I should be able to pull up the leaderboard, the live leaderboard, and we should be able to get a list of all of the players. And yeah.
And you know, it makes sense, because if you think about it, if there's like 3 dragons beside each other and one of them gets a kill, the one that got killed, that damaged the other one, died. So he couldn't get the kill. That's why the other one starved.
Okay, so the leaderboard is up. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to show everybody's points, but it should be like the top 5 or top 7 or whatever, which is, you know, probably good enough.
What if you use like control up minus? Oh, you can't do that in OBS, right?
I probably can't. I think there is a way I could be able to show everybody, but it's just I don't want to mess with it and break it and end up refreshing the page on accident. That would be pretty tragic. Okay, so I want to hear what the players have to say about these changes after the tournament. See if they like it, if they think that it could be improved, or if they prefer the old method, or how they react to it. It's very different, you know, watching it versus like actually playing it. Oh, the new normal gets Chaos Myth. Wait a minute. So I think I saw the new normal kill Chaos Myth, even though I think Chaos Myth was bigger. That was very interesting.
Loa said he likes changes, but he's in Europe,
So
so it
look at New
sucks.
Normal's. Look at New Normal's kills. He's got 4 kills, which means if he's wearing gear right now, he's got plus like 60% HP.
Yeah, his HP is going down so slow. I guess he must have HP gear. Wait, but he just died. Wait, he just starved. Oh, someone didn't take the kill. So I guess that's something that you guys really need to watch out for. Is you guys need to be finishing your kills. I'm seeing a lot of starved. So yeah. Loma gets a kill, but then starves. So there's gonna be 2 orbs there, right? Or no, if you starve, you don't drop an orb. Yeah,
No.
just 1 orb.
Oh no, you don't. Yeah, you're right.
That's quite interesting. I wonder how that kind of switches up mechanics, you know. If you go in for a kill or come across one of those encounters and then perhaps realize that you're not going to be the one coming out alive, do you just exit, that encounter to then escape being killed, but actually you starve instead so that you don't drop an orb?
What if you exit the game?
It's really hard to exit the game like in the middle of a battle because you die so
Yeah.
quick, you know. But technically possible, but yeah, I don't see that really happening.
You'll see. It's
So,
very
new
new
normal?
changes.
New Normal has plus 18% HP per kill. He had 4 kills.
Oh
No, but
yeah.
everybody else only had 1. So yeah, he had like plus 70 HP.
Is that a new item mechanic? I don't remember if we talked about that before, having more HP on kills.
Yeah, it was slated to be implemented, and I think it was for after. I can't remember where it was in the schedule, but I just did them all together for efficiency.
So does it reset on death or does it stay forever?
I think it stays until the end of the round.
Okay, so yeah, so that's
Wait.
a very snowbally. Oh wait. Okay, a bunch of kills going around. I'm trying to look at the kills and the right side of the screen to see who actually gets the kills. But I guess it's Marco Polo, so it doesn't matter as much. You just really want to get the orbs, right?
What's interesting here is Overhaul and Sassy have 4 kills, but they're not at the top of the leaderboard. So it's the items are not the end all be all.
Yeah, the orbs are important. You have to get the orbs. You get a kill, but then you don't get the orb. If you get a kill and then you die and you don't get the orb, then it's like you're just not really getting too much out of it. Oh, Mr. Buggins wins. Oh my god. Time passes by so fast. I'm just trying to absorb everything that's going on. But Mr. Buggins takes that win. And I will... okay, never mind. I can see that these scores do look like it's updating correctly.
Yeah, pretty happy with it.
Yeah, Sassy Boy in first right now, Mr. Buggins in second, Akubalum in third. So I would say this is a very dramatic shift from our previous tournaments. Well, then
Indeed.
again, we don't have Dazai, we don't have Jinong Kalima, we don't have a lot of the top players, so
Do we not have design?
We have Desai.
We
Pretty
have
sure
design.
he's playing as Zoe.
maybe not. I don't know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not. I believe,
It doesn't.
We're
It's not
missing,
against the
No
rules, really.
Scared and a few of the other.
No, it is against the rules, right? I believe it is. It's against the rules to share accounts.
No, it's not against the rules to share accounts.
Is it not? Was that taken away?
I
No.
think.
The last time I checked the rules,
it's
it
written
was
in the rules, yeah.
yeah, it was very clearly not allowed to share accounts.
I think it says in the rules like 1 account equals 1 person, but I thought it said at the same time. I can't remember, but I'm not gonna. Okay, no comment.
I'll just assume that it's Zoe. I'll just say it's Zoe. It's Zoe, okay?
Alright.
Like, I mean, they were both good players, so like, who knows? Maybe Zoe's better. I wouldn't be surprised.
But there are still a lot of names who have taken part in the tournament who aren't here tonight. I think we see that they seem to come every other tournament or so. But we are still early on. We've seen the leaderboards flip after the halftime mark. Whether that will happen tonight, who knows? But it certainly has started off like we've started in the second half. But we're only in the first. Did that make sense to anybody else? I'm not sure.
It's very British of you.
If it made sense to you, that's all that mattered.
It did. I did start drinking a bit earlier, to be fair.
Our British audience understands you.
I think the British audience is
Sasa was
sensibly in bed
zooming.
by now.
Yeah, it's interesting, the gameplay now. I'm surprised more people don't go after Chaos right now. Like, they don't realize how easily they can dominate Chaos if they just work as a team.
Chaos Smith just died. IQ Ballroom got him. Is he gonna get the orb
Yeah.
though? He's small now. See, like if you get a kill, but now you're small, it's hard to get the orb, right? I think he might have gotten it. Okay, there we go. He did get it.
Yeah, because you're worried about staying alive.
Yeah. So I know you did mention, before we went live, that I think from what you've seen, the gameplay is very similar to before. But from what I see, at least in Rune Royale, it seems very different. I see very big differences compared to the previous Rune Royales.
It's similar. It's just more aggressive. It's
Yeah, a lot
the
more.
same things are happening, but there's more interactions.
Yeah, definitely. A lot more kills are happening. And I would say it's quite a bit more fast. Like it's faster paced.
I think that's going to be in part due to the items, isn't it?
That as well, yeah.
We are seeing items that have got those movement effects, so you're going to see a speed difference between some players, and I think because it is not constant, but it's in bursts, it makes the game feel a bit fast-paced or faster paced.
IQ Ballman's
because
stuck.
you never
What's
quite
going on?
know exactly
Is
when
anyone
it's going to
gonna get him? Wait.
Oh, he figured out how to
Wait.
get out.
He got out.
Yeah. It's okay, so the stuck islands, they seem really punishing, but what you have to do is do a 180. If you go exactly the opposite direction, then when you hit the island, you'll get out pretty easily.
So it's no longer like sticky. Now you have to. Yeah, you have to specifically have a. You have to have a specific input to get out.
Yeah, so it was always sticky, the problem, but before you could just go straight through it. So you would go fast enough, you could just go straight through it. Now you're like 40 times slower. It's going to take forever to go through the island. So when you hit the island, you just want to do 180 and go backwards, because every second you stay on the island, you're going forward into the island. So you're just going to die.
All right, we got fast rig. This will be interesting. Fast rig with these new mechanics. Wow, there's so many sprites. Jesus, there's so many sprites. So I think you mentioned you mentioned before the stream that in fast rig, because you slow down when you're next to somebody, you're not actually going to be fast. Is that?
It'll take away your speed boost, yeah.
Let's see. Okay,
so you want to be intentional about it. So if you're a fast rig, you want to make sure that you land on somebody for the kill. None of that that swiping back, back front and back thing that everybody was doing. It was really annoying.
So
I think
interesting as well, because what I'm seeing quite a lot of is these damaging encounters whereby two players probably aren't aiming for each other, do cross paths, do collide, drain each other's HP, and then go off again on their intended paths, and actually just all of a sudden they're much more vulnerable in the hands of any other players who haven't yet had that encounter, who start to make way towards them. So I think we're going to see over time, as players get used to these mechanics, I think we're going to see that split between those very cautious players who are constantly, aware of their surroundings, trying to avoid confrontation that they don't think they're going to win, or that's going to come to a finite battle, and those who are, always out seeking that confrontation as well, just looking to take advantage of those opportunities of just having that slight extra HP drain on a handful of players in their surround.
I think if I were playing Fast Drake, I would not even bother going for the kills anymore. I think going for the kill is not even necessarily advantageous because like you do get a little bit of points, but like realistically, you probably lose out on so many more sprites because if you're going for a kill, you're probably gonna shrink, and you want to always be fast going for the sprites. At least that's how I look at it.
You can see that right now. The top players don't have kills, and all of their points are from sprites.
Yeah.
And so this is great for me because this is kind of what I wanted it to be like. Everybody was turning it into this vicious, death match, right? But this is better. This is what I kind of envisioned from the beginning. But I mean, of course, there's different modes where kills really make a difference, and I like that too.
So the new normal. What are your thoughts on these changes? How do you feel about it? Since you said you're not going to be playing in the tournament anymore, you did have a few rounds where you did play. What do you think? What do you think could be improved? What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? Ooh, Zoe's stuck. Zoe got out. Okay. Sassy boy on the right. He was on the left side at the beginning of the match. Now he's playing on the right side. Still in the lead though. But Chaos Smith is right behind him. So Chaos Smith is going to pass him up for sure.
I have to agree with Disco. I really think the meta is going to change over time because, like Disco was saying, is would you know that you can get in front of somebody that's coming towards you and just totally mess them up? You're going to get the more aggressive players that are actively looking for that. They know that they got 5 kills. They can see in their leaderboard that the other person only got 1. And now you can see the names too. So they're going to actively go seek out those people and use their HP bars against them.
Oh yeah, you can see the names in HP bars. That's really big as well. I didn't even factor that into how I approach the game yet.
And nobody's doing that yet.
And actually, I hadn't considered the implications of the names in the sense of the HP bars. But what you probably start seeing as well is that the more capable players will start noticing during a session, the players that they're playing with, the kind of speed that they lose their HP at, and start to factor that into their encounters as well. Because while you may be able to go up and look up their equipment setup, you'll probably just kind of notice it from gameplay, as you do, as a player, gauging it after those few encounters, seeing just how much HP is being lost, how quickly they're losing it, who they're able to win and lose against, and then, factoring that into your gameplay. But in that space of time, Chaos Smith did walk away with the winning position of that last round as well, taking them up to joint first with Sassy Boy, although Sassy Boy actually just pips it on the tie-breaking factors. But joint on points. Mr. Buckins very, very closely behind in third on 21 points, and Overhaul still chasing in fourth spot, only a few points in it. We're in bird's eye now.
I think there's a good chance we're gonna get a new champion.
I think if it's ever gonna happen, now's definitely the time.
Well, Mr. Buggins is the only one that's won before, right? I mean, not Mr. Buggins. Chaos Smith is the only one that won before, so chances are there probably will be a new champion.
Yeah.
Who would you guys bet on?
Oh, no, that's a tough one. I mean,
oh my God, Maiev, you're still here.
Sassy and Chaos Smith at the
Yeah.
top, right? And
You haven't said anything for so long.
I have it. I'm just watching and hearing you guys commentating about it. I'm really not
For
good in
me,
doing play-by-plays or stuff like that. But yeah, I really definitely I'm really looking forward on how the meta will evolve in evolution since we have different mechanics now.
I'm
Your
liking
normal
Sassy
saying
Boy.
is hoping for sassy.
Yeah, Sassy Boy looks like he's doing really
I'm good
well.
with sassy
We have
boy.
someone named
I
Chocolate.
think
That is a great name. Chocolate.
Sassy Boy just seemed
Chocolate.
to have adjusted quite quickly, and that's the thing to I guess to bear in mind is that somebody who joins the stream for the first time or is only just starting to follow the tournaments, they might have seen Sassy Boy and Chaos Smith at the top of the leaderboards. Now they're seeing them at the top of the Room Royale leaderboards a few matches in, and they're probably thinking, right, well, these are the top players. But what you've got to bear in mind is that these mechanics have only just been introduced in the last few days. They are constantly under revision. So you've got to bear that into account as well. Like some people will just naturally be able to adapt slightly faster than the rest, and that's I think going to be a real big factor for this particular tournament, maybe for the next season. Once things settle down, then possibly we see that shift again to those more consistent players who just like to play with comfortable rule books. They know exactly what they're doing. They know what it is familiar. They go in and just rinse and repeat each time. But now is the time to catch the old guard off guard.
Do
so
we?
Oh,
that's
what's the double pickup?
double pickup means that when you pick up a rune, you get double of that rune. So what Disco was saying about certain players picking up the mechanics is totally true. It's like Lazy would pick up every mechanic change that I would make within an hour. Lazy would have mastered it. Nobody else would be able to figure it out but Lazy. And in the same regard, Sassy is kind of like the Asian Lazy. I watch this 24/7. I watch this 24/7, and Sassy picks these mechanic changes up very quickly.
Yeah, some players are, I guess they're better at that, and some people like that more. I do want to ask
Nobody
though,
will
what
ever
what is
play
the what
Lazy
is what is a round counter? Is this round number 5 or 6? Do any of you guys know?
Let me count.
I want to say this is 5,
I was gonna
but I just
ask
want to double check.
that to you.
Do we remember who placed the first round? Was it? Who placed first round? Oh, I see. Thank God I put this in the live. Yeah. Sassy placed number 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I think that was the 5th.
Okay. I mean, I think that makes sense because there was 99 points total in the last round, and I guess there's. Wait, how can it be 99? How many points? So 10 points for first, 7, 17.
So it's 26 per.
No,
So
it's not 26.
156.
It's not 26.
10, 7, 5, 3,
Is
1.
it 25 or 26? Oh my god, maybe it is 26. Oh my god, math is hard.
I'm using a computer. Okay, so we had 156. And right now we have.
Yeah, I think this should be the 6th round, right?
Yes, it
We need
is.
a round
it
counter
is, yeah.
above the scoreboard, don't we?
We do need that. But no, I confirmed. We have 130 points on the board right now.
Yeah.
We need 100.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. God bless the automated leaderboard.
It's
Puts
the
Maiev
6th
out
round,
of a
right?
job, though.
This is the 6th round, yes. And also,
Yeah.
since we're busy talking about the points, I didn't even mention that Bird's Eye was 500 points per kill.
per evolution. So it's 1,000 if you killed the second.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. I didn't catch that until like the very end of the round.
Yeah, but
That made sense before. Because
Yeah,
before it
'cause-
was very hard to get a kill on bird's eye. Now it's actually a lot easier.
So what do you guys think? Instead of having like damage on touch, what if there's like what if you like had to bite them? What if you actively had to like press a button to do damage?
Skills would be great. But I still
Yeah.
think that like the closeness damage, the ease of use of doing that, it's just welcoming. You know, it's just very clear what you should do, right? And it's like low bars, like low barriers, so you don't have to learn like a lot of things, right? The skills would be nice. I think that we should save that for like hell, though. I think.
I feel like having a button where you like bite them. I feel like that's a little bit more
Is it-
intuitive than the touch, at least to me.
Is it going to be like a button that you have to press every time, or does it go on cooldown? You still do damage if you touch the enemy, or you have to press a button just to do damage?
To me, I feel like it's more intuitive if there's like just like a very basic attack. Like not, I wouldn't even really call it a skill, just like a very basic like bite, where I guess maybe you have like a 1 second cooldown or something, so that you can't like be spamming it, like just like mashing it, but like
Would you would you rather have it along with getting close to an opponent and do damage? It's like doing a heavy attack, or you're literally taking off the damage when you're near the opponent and just rely on the damage on the skill or the attack.
I think it's more intuitive to just have damage only be from like the attack, but that's just me.
But it's from a technical point very difficult, because if you think about the latency differences
Yeah.
when they attack, what Maeve is saying, I mean, it makes sense if it's over time. So if you use the skill and it works for like 2 seconds, then you can actually execute the attack properly without it being very latency dependent.
I see.
But like things like fireballs are like way better, because when you shoot a fireball, everybody's going to see it at the right position. With a player, you don't know if they're actually in that position or not.
Fireballs. my favorite ability. Yeah, give me fireballs and evil, baby. Let's go.
But no, I like the idea. I think for me, what I want to see first is just like evasion abilities, like the ability to get out of being killed. So I think just having one skill in Mage Isles that's an evasion, like a stun AoE or a speed boost, that for me would be the only thing I really want to add to Mage Isles. But for Hell, absolutely.
Okay, so Chaos Myth does take the last round of the first half. That does put him in the lead with 43 points. And we will have our 5-minute break. And yeah, please make sure you do pause the scoring, Benzie.
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay, cool. Okay, so everybody in the tournament, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? How did that feel to play? That felt, watching, it felt really interesting. Very different than before, but I want to hear what you guys think. The actual players in the tournament. Did you guys feel like it was very different? Do you guys feel like it was more or less the same? Let us know. And
I mean, I know we've seen the new normal drop out, saying it was too crazy for him, but hasn't quite yet become accustomed to the new game style. So definitely throwing some players off their usual stride. I think these changes, it definitely looks a different game almost. With the kind of changes in pace of the dragons, getting those movement bursts, and also with the devolutions of the dragons due to the collisions and the HP bar effects. I think we're seeing some really interesting battles out there. Noticing the kill counts going up, which of course I like. Not that I like being on the receiving end, which happens far too often on these streams. Fortunately, the Rune Royale is the 1 week a month where I do get to just stay alive the whole time because I don't compete. But yeah, I think it's really throwing up some interesting battles between players, and I'm quite excited to see how the second half plays out, especially now players have got a bit more used to it, perhaps. Are we going to see some different game modes? We haven't had a friendly game mode yet, so
Oh yeah,
very
no friendly
interesting to
game
see
modes.
if that pops up. What's going to happen there?
Yeah, how does the damage and everything work when it's friendly? I guess it would be the same but reversed, or maybe it's the same either way. I'm trying to think about it, but it's like
the damage is the same, isn't it? It's just the scoring that works differently in a friendly mode.
Well, yeah, I mean it could, yeah. So I guess it would be the same, huh? But because you get more HP by just existing, so I don't know. It's probably the same. Hopefully we'll get a friendly mode in the second half, so we can actually see it live. Is my camera still glitching out? I think it's still glitching out, huh?
Looks like it.
Yeah, I thought I
I'm
fixed
actually
it.
curious with if it's a friendly mode, and then you have like more HP upon kill, right? And a lot of people suicided to you, so probably you'd
Oh,
have like tons of HP, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Then
Yeah. So that's
how many dragons?
that's interesting. So I guess if you do have if you have one of those items that gives you HP, and somebody knows that you have those items, let's say you're playing like friendly reverse, right? Do you just go kill that guy over and over so that guy can't devolve as easily? You know what I mean? That'll be interesting.
Yeah. It looks like it's kind of punishing, right? So you'd be stuck.
Yeah.
On a high.
Yeah, you'll be stuck as a Drake. I guess you would have to leave the game and join back in. But I don't know. Does your HP reset if you leave and join? I don't know.
No,
It doesn't
it
reset.
doesn't
So
reset it.
yeah. So I guess if
So
you
it's
do
definitely
have those
punishing
items,
in that mode.
yeah, if you have those items on, you might not be having a good time. So I guess there's some
Yeah.
downsides.
This is what I like about it though. Like the items shouldn't be like an upside in every game mode, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there shouldn't be like a silver bullet. So this is really, for me, it's really cool. But on the other side of the coin, in the reverse, in the normal friendly mode, it's an advantage because the more people that run into you to make sure you get a kill so you lose points, the harder it is to actually to kill you to give you kills. Wait a second, no, that's worse.
No. yeah.
worse.
If you're playing like Let's Be Friends, you would be like giant dragon the entire time, right?
Yeah. And then you're just gonna be, it's not gonna be fun. I wanna see that.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is the standings as of the first half. Chaos Myth in first with 43 points. Sassy Boy in second with 37. Overhaul in third with 24. Mr. Buggins in fourth with 21. Zoe in fifth with 15 points. IQ Ballman and Emotionless in 6th and 7th. The New Normal Loma, Ruzgar, and Chocolate. No points, but thank you guys for participating. And Chocolate, I love your name. That is a great name.
Yeah, I've been chowing on some M&Ms during the stream. I was really surprised. Yeah, I was eating M&Ms.
Is that why you've been
Zero
so quiet?
chocolate is always quite disappointing. I did get my
that's
fix before the stream.
I had my jar of M&Ms.
Did you eat all the rest of that jar?
Yeah, I think I bought it like a month ago. It's already in half.
A month
How
ago?
How that lasted you so long?
I'm sorry, you were saying Disco?
How has that lasted you so long?
Yeah,
Half a jar in a month. I buy like 2.4 kilogram. That's not going to convert for Panda.
Yeah,
but
what is that? What is that in pounds, guys?
Kilos of celebrations. That's like,
yeah,
it's a lot.
It's
just like a box like this.
I don't eat too much sweets, so
I eat far too many.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just a correction. Okay, wait. So for reverse evolve, okay, you're totally right. But for normal friendly, it's not so bad. Because think about it. If you are a Drake and then they make you get a kill, your HP goes up. If you get your HP back down to Dragon Lane, like you can just stay Dragon Lane.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Right?
right. Yeah,
You can
because
just stay on the
yeah,
Dragon Lane
yeah,
because you
because
gotta get your power.
yeah, because let's be friends. It's you still lose HP. You don't gain HP, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is the HP, is it like divided by 3? So let's say you have like 100 HP or a 90 HP, you get 30 HP for like
That
for
sounds
a
smart, but
Drake,
it's actually
for
no. It's a really naive implementation. If you have plus 60%, you literally get 60 HP for every evolution. So you get 160 as a Dragon Link, 160 as a Whelp, and 160 as a Drake.
I see. So if you're evolved as a Drake, then you have like, let's say 270 HP if your base was like 90. Is that how it works?
The base is 100. So if you have plus 60, that puts you at 160.
160.
Right, but as a Drake, you're going to devolve faster, right? So it's actually, you'll go down to the Whelp stage, and you're going to have a huge
Oh,
HP bar.
so that 160, once if you're a Drake and you have a full bar, you have 160 HP on you, right?
Yeah.
You have 160
Okay.
Drake HP, but then you have 160 Whelp HP and then 160 Dragonling HP, right?
Yeah.
So realistically, you have 480. That's okay. So
Yeah.
should we have numbers instead of just colors? Should we have a number on the bar, or should the color of the bar change depending on the number? You know?
Yeah. I think numbers make sense. I don't. It doesn't sit well with me just because the idea of trying to gauge your enemy was kind of the point. Maybe like if there's an icon that shows how many times they've gone, their HP has increased, or maybe just a number for now. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. What do you guys think, Twitch chat? Would you guys like to see numbers? Oh, Maev's power went out. Maiev, no. I hope his power didn't actually go out. That would be pretty sad.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but at least he has M&Ms to keep him company. Okay.
In general, I'm not a big fan of when things are super predictable. It makes things just a little bit too dry, a little bit too boring.
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent about the numbers. I think on one hand, everyone likes to see numbers go up. So it's nice when you get the kill and you see numbers pop up or whatever, how much damage you've done. But on the other side, as we were discussing on the stream,
he's back.
Or during then the Room Royale, and the battling, it does, add a layer of gameplay and skill to the game to be able to not just focus on what you're doing, but also be observant of those around you and how much damage they're taking in certain scenarios and against who, to kind of gauge who the stronger players are and who you're more likely to be able to then take down yourself.
Yeah, you're
Welcome back,
totally
Maiev.
right. And these guys DM me about profiles all the time. So like they're all watching each other's profiles. They know it. They have equipped. But they have to be able to react quick enough to understand how that's gonna affect their gameplay versus the opponent on the fly, right? So
Yeah.
that's the interesting part.
Is Benzie doing a react to the stream? I mean, Benzie's here just in miniature form, This is the true size of Benzie. Yeah, so I think there's I think a lot of people do like the unpredictability. Obviously, I'm not one of those people. I like everything to be predictable, at least in terms of mechanics. And then to me, I feel like the unpredictability comes in forms of like rock, paper, scissors, where you essentially, I feel like a lot of competitive games really comes down to rock, paper, scissors between you and the opponent, Whereas, you know, you have one option that will beat another option, but then they have an option that will beat that option, but loses to the other option, you know? So that's the type of unpredictability that I personally like. But again, just different, different opinions, different preferences, I believe.
So I
think
guess
it's
you.
still possible, but I totally understand what you mean. That's just really hard to do in evolution. But I think it's still possible.
I think the thing with randomness, it works quite well in some games. I don't know personally how well it works in action games, you know, in very fast-paced games to that extent. I think in those, because of the pace of decision making, you kind of need a bit more rigidness around the rules, perhaps, so that you can then, you know, play against those rules as quickly as possible, because that's kind of the aim of the game there. It depends whether you're looking for speed or strategy.
Okay, so Libtekken does say he feels like it favors surviving rather than fighting. And I guess we can talk a little bit more about that, but we should probably jump into the second half of the game. I feel like we have been talking for quite a while, so we can talk more, you know, as we jump into the second half. But
Okay, so do you want me to? I'll put on God mode, and we'll get ready.
yeah, but just a few minutes for everybody to get back on, maybe like a minute or two, and then we go ahead and start the second half. I know that was probably a longer break than 5 minutes.
So yeah, if you are taking part in the tournament, even if you didn't in the first half but want to take part in the second, it is still possible, looking at the numbers, for you to get on the leaderboards and place, take away a prize. So do jump back on now. We will be getting started in just a moment.
Yeah, the points are really kind of like all over the place. We don't have a very definitive winner yet, right?
Anybody can take it. You know, that's happened before.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, probably at the end of this round, we'll go ahead and start the second half of Rune Royale. And again, the first round of the second half will be deathmatch. All the other rounds will be RNG. What happened here? What the? Oh, it's because it says paused. Alright, I'm not gonna mess with that then. What does 7th place get? You get the joy of knowing that you were dragon food.
You have the joy of participation.
Yeah, it's experience. That's
More than
what
I
really
can
matters.
say. Indeed.
I wonder how this is gonna work for Pandemonium. Okay, so we can go ahead and change the deathmatch and we can start.
I guess there's no HP bars, is there? So Pandemonium should be the same.
Yeah, Pandemonium will be the same. It'll just be a little bit harder to kill them.
Wait, what if what if they revolt against the pandas and they just kill the pandas because they can damage drakes now?
Well, then they're screwed.
They're gonna revolt.
That truly would be Pandemonium.
Hey, that's an opportunity for a new game mode. We have
Well, I think
3 pandas, and then everybody else is small, but then the small people have to kill the pandas.
It would be quite interesting though, because even though, you know, as they're chasing away, the addition of HP and no longer being insta kill does mean that some of them are going to be able to escape you. And I know that, you know, sometimes it takes 2 or 3 of you to team up to finally corner someone and hunt them down.
Yeah.
And where it's not insta kill, they'll be able to, if they've got enough HP, slip through that gap. So, yeah,
Well, they'll get
perhaps something we
slowed,
do need
right?
to think about. They get slowed. They'd lose some HP, but you know, if it's just a quick zip across you to get to the other side and into some space and freedom, might just be worth it. I think we'll have to think about that.
And then you're gonna have Eki, like this super buff panda. Because he gets so many kills, he's got like 1,000 HP. Okay, so what I was gonna say is that, you know, it's not random, because if you understand which sprite is, which color is, the booster, and you understand your opponent's general item set, then you can pretty much understand how they're gonna react. But what I would want to see is like little buff icons, like a little buff that says, they're gonna get a 40% speed boost, or like 60% HP boost. Because if you have those icons and you can see their stat basically right underneath their HP, then you don't have to calculate so many variables. Pretty much only Lazy can calculate all of the variables on the screen right now. I think he's the only player I've ever known who could do that. But they are variables, and it isn't random, so it is possible. You just have to be very good.
Desai says he has no electricity. Oh.
His girlfriend does.
No. He says she's using mobile data.
Mobile data and a laptop.
Yeah, and a laptop. That sounds like a bad time. But hey, I mean, second place is not bad, right?
61 MS. Everybody's.
Oh wow, everybody has exact same ping. Everybody is playing on mobile data, I guess. Nobody has it. Nobody has power. Everyone.
So what happens there is basically when you see everybody has the same, it means that the server's the bottleneck. So that means that everybody else has a connection faster than the server is calculating things.
I see. So is it not possible to have lower? No, someone had 40.
Yeah, but that's
It's
only
possible, yeah,
temporary, isn't it?
It's only temporary. It's like every loop, right? So on that particular loop, when you consider all of the CPU usage from the sprites and the movement and all that kind of stuff, that was the lowest that was possible, and that loop was 61. I mean, that's usually the case, but it could be that they are on the same data network. It's possible.
They're all living in like the same apartment, same neighborhood.
Chaos avoided the death penalty in the last minute. That's
Oh,
huge.
well, it's deathmatch, so.
True. So you wouldn't even lose anything.
Yeah, it's deathmatch. He has a big lead, getting 6 kills, basically the same amount of kills as everybody else combined.
Should we add orbs back to deathmatch?
Was orbs ever in deathmatch?
Originally, orbs were in everything before.
I think it was you who complained about it and took him out, Panda, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was me.
It was not me. Definitely not me.
I did consider Panda's complaints for deathmatch, and I lowered the ratio. So you see regular standard mode a lot more now.
Yeah, I noticed that we haven't had deathmatch every game now. Okay, so Chaos Myth, I believe, did take that round, and now we're back. We're on to standard. What do you know? Still no friendly modes, unfortunately. But maybe dragons aren't meant to be friends.
Friendly mode did not do very well in the polling, so it's pretty low. It's like 1 out of 30.
Yeah, they don't want to be friends. Okay, so jumping back a little bit to what we were talking about before with like the different like buff icons and whatever. What if they just got bigger? What if their size just increased proportional to how much HP they would gain?
That's cool.
But does it makes them an easier target,
Ooh,
right?
IQ bomb, yeah. Well, it makes them an easier target, but also that they could, depending on the round, they're also bigger, so they can target people and control space easier. So, I don't know.
Well, I think before you even, think about the specifics of that, you need to go back a step and just ask, do you actually want an ability, or do our players want an ability to be able to visually identify the kind of HP levels that another player's at?
Yeah, maybe it
Or
could be.
do they actually not want that, and want that to be something that they have to look out for and try and gauge for themselves?
So, guys, there's been 0 kills in this game so far. We're 2 minutes in. Contrast this to the first half. I feel like the first half had so many kills. Okay, we finally did get a couple of kills coming in from Chaos Smith and IQ Ballerman, but a very peaceful second half so far.
I think we were talking about being friends too much. They just wanted to show to us how friendly they can be.
I think it's that everybody's kind of scared about, like, they can't gauge how easily they're gonna die when they go in for a kill, you know? In my personal opinion, I really think that just going for kills is probably the best strategy right now. I actually think the kamikaze strategy is the way to go. Not this
Really?
this very defensive strategy that everybody else is doing. Yeah, because think about it. The respawn timer is only 2 seconds. You know, deathmatch doesn't even have an orb, and the normal orb is only 25%. So you could just respawn and kamikaze.
So what you're saying is
Really
that you kamikaze and then you respawn and get the orb. Is that what you're saying?
Just keep kamikaze, because you're not losing enough from the orb that it's not that it's big deal. If you pick up an orb, that's great, obviously, right? Like, try to do that, right? But I still think that you have players here like Overhaul at the bottom. Like, why even play defensively if you're Overhaul? Why not just go crazy? Like,
Overhaul
you
just got a
pick
kill
now,
and an orb.
right? Like go aggressive because you have no choice.
Are you saying that because he's like in 5th, or?
I'm saying if you're not in first or second, why would you not just kamikaze? Because,
I
like,
see.
you can get kills.
I think it was all something you said to us before the stream, before we started, actually, which was quite interesting, in that players are still at the moment playing in the old way, that they're only going for smaller dragons. I don't think we've seen that full adjustment yet to the fact that you can actually, or may be able to, kill somebody who's in a larger state than you, or the same state. So I think we're still seeing that caution, and people are only really trying to get kills when they spot somebody smaller than them, and being a bit less experimental, especially after the kind of chaos of the first half. I don't think every player had played against each other yet, so we haven't quite seen that feeling. When you first play against another sports team or something, it takes the first few minutes of a match to actually get a feel for what they're like, what their play style is, and
Very
how
close
you can
game.
step into the game.
About 10 points separating Overhaul and Chaos Myth. It's going to be very close. I think Overhaul does have more sprites around, so I think he is going to take the round, though. Yeah, Overhaul does take it. So Lib Tekken does say that he says it's better to stay alive than fight. And I feel like I just from my thought process, it seems like it makes sense. But again, like, playing and thinking about the game is sometimes very different.
I think it really depends, because if you have 2 players who are thinking like me, so let's say the 4th and 5th player, they both say, fuck it, I'm gonna go aggressive. The 2 of them combined can take out the leader, right? Like, if you have more than one player, if you're the only one doing it, sure, I kind of get it, right? Because you're kind of gonna kamikaze and die, and you're just gonna keep dying. You might get an orb here or there, right? But if you have 2, it changes the game. Now 2 of them can get a kill. One of them gets an orb, and they can both take off and go get some sprites.
Yeah, but you would need multiple people to team up without knowing that they're teaming up.
Well,
So
it's just an aggression level. If you have half of the game if half the players in the game, because there's 6 players, if 3 of them are being aggressive, that strategy will work. It'll completely flip the table. But if you have only one, it won't. So
Yeah.
it's not like you have to team up. You don't have to
Yeah.
team up. It's just like, is there aggression going on? And right now, there's no aggression.
That could explain why we saw a bloodbath in the first half and not that many kills in the second half. I guess it just takes a few people to start causing chaos.
Yeah, speaking of the HP bar, there would be teaming, right? So what happens with that?
Teaming is like if it's intentional and it's like every game, right? Like if you're just doing it because they're close to you and you see an opportunity, that's not teaming.
Teaming would have to be what is it called? Premeditated, right? You have to like intentionally be like saying that you're teaming up with somebody and planning it, right? If you're just doing it because it's the best course of the play without it being premeditated, then it's fine.
Exactly. I mean, I always turn up pre-medicated whenever I interact with this team.
Words are fucking hard, okay? Come on.
No, you had it correct. I was only making a joke. But whilst being factual, it's funny because it's true, as they say.
Oh, Sassy Boy and Chaos Smith fighting? No, not really.
No, so we are seeing Nick Bannerman taking what was holding the top position there. Mr. Bugden is just sneaking out in front. But again, a close call. Chaos Smith sitting in third, but comfortably behind. Bearing in mind the time left on the clock, just under 2 minutes left. And over who's also competitive there. I think even
Chaos
Zoe
Smith has got a kill on Emotionless.
might just have enough time to get back into the game, but probably leaving it a little bit late for this round.
Chaos Smith got an orb. Is he in first now? No, he's not. Even after the orb, I guess that was not a very juicy orb.
Yeah, I think Overhaul seems to be sitting fairly comfortably at the moment. As we hit the 1 minute mark and the orbs stop dropping, they're not in a bad place at all to try and hold that. Struggling to stay big, I guess. Not getting much luck with the sprite spawns.
Yeah, we've been counting what round is this?
That's a good question. I think the easiest way to keep track of the rounds is to just do math.
Well, we're fortunate that we haven't had enough players to extend the scoreboard off the screen, and actually we do see all of the points accumulated there at the moment, so probably shouldn't rely on that, but it'll do for now, I think.
This is the 9th round.
So Lib Tekken, I kind of agree with what you're saying, that it's like it's not a team game, so it's like, it would be nice if there's like more opportunities to just outplay somebody just like 1v1. I think that would be maybe a little bit more interesting than having to rely on multiple people to kill one person, which I think is one of the things where even with the old mechanics, with the instant kill mechanics, it was very possible to kill somebody in a 2v1, right? If you have somebody else that is willing to work with you, you can very easily corner the leader. But it's hard to get somebody that's willing to do that, because a lot of the times if you're playing for yourself, it makes more sense to not do that. If that makes any sense. Man, English is hard. Sometimes I wish I could just talk in brainwaves. Maiev, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You've been pretty quiet again.
Well, I've been looking into the live board and checking out different players. I'm really happy to see different names in it. Also, I had to check on some community issues. How about the XLs that was sent?
Oh, Exile. I thought you said Excel. I was confused for a second. Oh, speaking of Exile, did anybody else put in any votes for what they want crafted? Or are we still tied? I guess nobody knows.
Um, I think Ignition is the winner, right?
I'm not sure. I saw that you were like you were keeping track of it.
It's Ignition. It's
Ignition?
3-2.
I think
Okay.
we
Yeah.
did get weighed out to Ignition in the end.
Okay, sure. I guess Ignition
That's
wins
as it
this then.
stands. There were a couple of people who did place in the top 10 who don't appear to be on the stream. If they were to join us, they could, well, sway that. There was only one vote in it. But as it stands, Ignition all the way.
Panda just doesn't understand why they want to craft socks.
Do you guys have any sock recommendations?
I do. Don't get a wife, because I buy new socks probably every single month.
What?
And I'm not exaggerating. I have about 30 to 40 odd socks. I
So
have no idea where the pairs are. They disappear, and then occasionally I see my wife wearing my socks. Not a pair of them, but just odd socks, which winds me up because then I know that I'm going to end up with 2 more odd socks out of that.
wait, so you're telling me
and the pairs never materialize.
you're telling me your wife just wears one sock?
No, she wears odd socks. So like you get 2 socks in a pair, so they look the same, and then you get a different pair of socks. and
Okay.
They
Yeah,
will
yeah.
look different to your first pair of socks, but they will look like the same as each other. So I have socks that do not pair up. None of them are the same because they're all just single socks now, with their pairs forever lost. They're
Ooh,
lonely
wait.
socks.
Okay, so Zoe just killed Sassy Boy and starved immediately afterwards. Which I guess is maybe how this kind of goes now. It's in fast strike though, so it's probably not a great idea. But in other game modes, like maybe you get the kill, respawn, and then go get the orbs, or well, I guess if that happens, then the other person gets the orb, right? So I don't know. Or you just endlessly just fight for that one orb with the same person for the whole entire game.
Or you're like a scavenger and you just wait for the orb.
Oh yeah, maybe somebody else is just watching. Like, oh, free orb.
So the socks that you want are called Darn Tough.
Okay, yes, those are the socks that I have actually. Everybody says those are good. I was wondering if there are any other recommendations. I mean, it's not like I go hiking
what
or
socks were
anything.
they?
Darn tough.
Darn tough. Okay, I've not heard of them.
Yeah,
It depends. Like I just look for like the material used usually. So like a good pair of
Why
cotton
does it
socks
say
is
that?
good.
Is it going out
Bamboo's
of business?
okay.
Is it what?
It says here in Google that it's going out of business.
What is?
Darn tough socks.
Better buy
Really?
them then.
Wait, really? Oh man, yeah, I better get some more on Amazon. Jesus Christ. Wait, why would they go? Everybody says they're the best socks. Why would they go out of business? They sell like $40 socks. How do you go out of business selling $40 socks?
Lifetime warranty. What? You have a lifetime warranty on socks?
Not if they
No
go out of
way.
business, I guess.
Yeah, that is
Come
how
on.
they went out.
Yeah, that's
My socks. The few pairs of socks that actually remain as pairs, they soon end up with holes in. Like, there's no way a pair of socks could ever last you a lifetime unless they were made out of solid steel.
unless they were
Especially
ignition.
because they're targeted. They're targeted to hikers too. So
What if they're ignition? What if they're ignition?
Things we don't cover. Animal
ignition
destruction.
are magical. Okay.
Burn. Lost in laundry.
Mr. Buggin's got a double pickup. Does a double pickup work if you get like an item? Are we still dropping cubes?
We're not dropping cubes.
Oh, we're not. Okay.
So I can't say when items were dropping and when they were not dropping because there's a lot of patches, but they're currently not dropping because I'm working on the reward system. So that will probably be rolled out in October, is my guess.
Gotcha.
Seems like we have, and October is next week.
Wait, is
Yeah,
it? Oh
absolutely.
yeah,
It's
wow.
the end of October and I'm pulling out my hair.
Oh, and end of October. It's October.
Still, you know, you hear it here first. Just because it is the Room Royale doesn't mean you're not going to get that exclusive news on a Sunday here on the Rune Twitch stream.
I'm really excited how the items will fare up in Rune Infinite. Panda, you should get yourself equipped.
For Infinite?
Yeah. And how the skills would be available. So will all the skills be still available, or will it be now limited since you have equipment? Well, at least I get to keep the what do you call it, Moonlight Wave, probably.
I mean, it's gonna be similar to Evolution, right? Like we can have geared and non-geared servers when we have enough player base, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure people would be going for the geared ones, right?
Yeah, probably.
We didn't get any negative comments or negative things when we implemented gears and Evo, right? Players
Yeah,
adapted
but
quite
that's
well.
the thing is, it's like it's different crowds. Like obviously the current player base are going to be preferring items, but like the people that, especially people that are not really like super into crypto or into NFTs and things like that, those people are going to be very against the items, right? And I think those people are probably going to be the majority of people. So like, no, it really.
I think because our target audiences are those who are into RPGs, right? So if you like RPGs and you dive into Rune, I'm pretty sure that they will gear up.
I don't know. A lot of people like RPGs, but they don't like crypto, and they don't like NFTs, especially. I feel like NFTs seem like they get a worse rep than crypto. I think a lot of people are not as strongly against crypto, but they really don't like NFTs. Even people that like crypto, some of them are against NFTs. That's what I noticed.
I think you're absolutely right. And actually, the industry in general is still very much in favor of NFTs. You will see these big brands integrating them. There is loads and loads of money going in from big companies to develop this kind of stuff and work on it.
It's still
But
Zoe,
they won't use the word NFT anywhere in their marketing, anywhere in their vision. They will not.
Wait, Zoe might die at the very end. Wait, Zoe died at the end. Wait, who won? No, Zoe still won. That was actually very intense.
It's like how you don't say Lord Voldemort, you know. That's very much. You don't say NFTs. They are digital collectibles or in-game transferable items or forever keepsakes or whatever it is. Just never NFTs.
You don't
and unfortunately, that's all it is.
Yeah.
You don't say the M word.
That's exactly.
Well,
That's
they're
exactly the way
basically
that
it,
we're gonna.
right?
That's the way we're gonna have to approach this when we do go to that free player base, right? You're not gonna see the word NFT. You're gonna see a shop that says buy
items.
shards, and you're gonna have items, and that's it. You know.
Okay, so are we? What round is this? We have Orb Master. I think this is the first time we've seen Orb Master. This is the last round?
It's 12, yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so I guess no friendly modes, and just from the points distribution, Chaos Myth is guaranteed to be the champion. So against all odds, we do not have a new winner. against all
And in
odds.
fact, that also does mean that Sassy Boy will end up second. So an exact replica, at least for the first two spots of our season leaderboard. We did speculate whether that would happen. We saw indications early on that that might happen, and that's what we've got at the end of the day. Will we see that for season 3 and the subsequent Room Royale? I don't know. I think we've definitely seen this particular competition today be much more competitive than previous seasons. So
Well,
I do feel confident for a bit of a shake-up on the regular season leaderboard. But we'll have to wait and see. That's a whole month away.
see, this is the type of moment where this is why I proposed the different format, is so that we don't have, you know, the last couple of rounds. We don't have a victor decided before the last couple of rounds. It hasn't really been a problem for most of our tournaments, but you know,
I think this
Yeah.
is the first time it's been definitively
yeah, this is.
decided
I think this
before
is
the
actually
final
the
round.
first time.
I think there have been some occasions where it's been fairly apparent, but there still needed to be some action to clinch the spot from
Yeah.
the preceding leaders.
Yeah, but that make think about that logically makes sense, right? Like, why would you even have 12 games if it's literally going to come down to the last game? Why not just have one game then, right? Like, if you don't have it clinched in the last 2 to 3 games, like, is it really a tournament? Is it really a long? Is it really like a long, like, you have to show your strength over multiple games kind of thing, or is it just RNG?
I mean, I quite like it in the sense that Chaos Smith gets what is ultimately a lap of honor now in the final round
You're right.
as Sassy Boy for second place.
Oh, so we did see the avoid penalty, which I guess probably makes a big deal in Orb Master, right? Does that mean that you don't drop an orb at all?
That's right.
Yeah, so then not only are you denying the points lost from your orb, you're also denying the orb itself, which gives a 300 point base, which has a 300 point base. So really big for
And
Orb
that's
Master.
that's I don't know what the max percentage is that people can stack up on that, but it's not guaranteed, is it? So
Yeah.
you're looking at a random attribute. I think it'd be quite interesting to see how many players also then kind of stack out for that, because am I right in saying that there's another attribute, maybe it's not quite yet released, where it will reduce the number of points that you drop during that orb? So actually you've got 2 attributes, one to avoid it entirely and then one to reduce the effect of it when it does happen to you.
I don't know off the top of my head, but knowing Eki, probably there is. Right now, I think it's like 5% for the avoid penalty. It's not too high yet, but if there is an attribute like that, then yeah, totally.
The new normal says random drops for Halloween. Do we have any Halloween events? You guys have any ideas for Halloween events?
Well,
Well, I don't know. I
Halloween
mean,
is going to be our anniversary, right?
Yeah, Halloween
was
gets a
just gonna
landmark for the
say-
stream, that's for sure.
typically, I know Binzi was keen not to do in-game items for seasonal events, bar Christmas, due to it being quite a large one. But we'll see about Halloween. It is our anniversary, indeed. So 1 month away from having been doing this for a year with you guys. What a pleasure. And seeing matches like this one. So congratulations.
Yep, that does mark the end of Rune Royale Season 2. Very well fought by Chaos Myth, taking home another win. Is that 2 consecutive wins? Did he win last time? I think he did, right? I believe that is 2 consecutive
Does
wins.
that become our first consecutive winner then, in fact?
I
Because I don't
don't
think anybody had yet managed it. Not consecutive wins. We'd had
really.
repeat winners, but not consecutive.
Okay, yeah. I mean, then he would be. I thought that there was, but I'm not 100% sure. It sounds like you are more sure than I am, so We'll
I
go with
was
that.
until you started doubting me.
I think he's already consecutive, so it says that he won the preseason and the battle for the Mail Giants,
Oh,
which
wow.
means he's the third winner, consecutive winner.
Oh, wow.
So the
Look at
first double consecutive winner.
triple
Look, I
winner.
wasn't far off. And I was right, actually. In fact, it's just it happened a month ago. The
You're
scenario
right.
I was
Okay, yeah,
referring
you're
to.
right. You're right about that. All right, let's take a look at the standings for Evolution Season 2. Chaos Myth, of course, the winner. Sassy Boy in second. I feel like Sassy Boy really... Sassy Boy is always so close, right? But then he's always just a little bit off. Sassy Boy is the second place king. Got Zoe in third, 48 points. Unfortunately dealing with, I think, internet and power issues. Hope you guys are safe over there in the Philippines. And Mr. Buggins in fourth with 45 points, and Overhaul taking fifth with 40. All right. Yeah, so again, I've been saying it all stream, but if you guys, have any feedback you'd like to give regarding the new game mechanics, regarding item mechanics, let us know. I'm curious as to what you guys think. And if you guys have any votes, if you guys were in the top 10 placing players of the regular season and you don't want us to craft Ignition, speak now or forever hold your peace. Is that the saying? That sounds wrong.
Forever hold your potatoes.
That sounds a little bit better. Yeah, so I don't know. Nobody's saying anything. Do we just go ahead and
Look,
craft Ignition? I mean,
I think it is Ignition.
Don't
isn't it?
grab the socks.
I can craft them. Tell me what to do.
do you want to craft them or should I craft them so we can show it on stream?
I don't think it's gonna show up for you, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to craft it. Okay, yeah. I guess we go ahead and do 100 Ignition, and maybe we'll get a M word today.
I mean, these are Binsy crafts.
They are Binsy
technically,
crafts, yes.
rather than Panda crafts.
I don't know if that's a good thing. I feel
I
like
was gonna say
me
I
and
don't
Panda.
know if that's a positive.
Yeah,
or
the
negative. I
last
kinda-
time we did Binsy crafts, it was actually worse than Panda crafts.
Yeah.
Just think about it here, okay? So I'm the founder, and I only have one mythic.
Oh,
And you've given it away, right?
you only have
You know,
one?
so I've only crafted one mythic, I think, and the other mythic I bought it from somebody, and then I gave it away.
Alright, right.
Oh, you only crafted one? Really? Wow.
Maybe two, maybe a lore keeper, but that was like 1 out of 30.
Hopefully when we crafted like 2 mythics in a row, I would give it to Binzi. And
To be
that
fair,
never
I keep
happened.
forgetting. I just keep forgetting. Like I'm like, okay guys, let's retire it, and then like a half an hour later, I'm having some tea, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I didn't craft any.
Wait, you drink tea? Are you British?
Tea's
Do I
quite an
sound
Asian
British?
thing as well, like an Eastern.
Really? Ah, yeah. I guess you're
loads of
right.
tea.
Yeah.
Come on, Panda.
Different kind of tea.
No, yeah.
You're-
It's just
You're
I've never
Chinese,
like
then you-
Brown tea.
because
So
nobody
you don't drink tea, Panda?
no people not I'm pretty sure like
don't?
Chinese people in America we don't just go like, oh, let's just like sit down, have a cup of tea. I think of British
So-
people when I think of that.
The American continent is immune to tea.
We have coffee. That's what we
They-
have.
They cannot fathom how to make tea. Like you can instruct them. And I've seen some horrific videos on the internet of Americans attempted to make a cup of tea, and it's just painful. I had to be put on suicide watch after a little while. A few of those. So, fortunately, I've moved away from that. They can handle a coffee machine. It's okay, but yeah, don't ever get an American to make you a cup of tea. They don't understand it.
Yeah,
an
we
alien
have
concept.
coffee here. I feel like is coffee just like our equivalent of tea? I'm assuming it is.
It's the same here. People are more likely to drink coffee than tea, except me.
The thing is, like, tea is very different in Britain than it is in, for example, Asia, like China or somewhere else, because there's a lot of herbal teas over there, whereas we tend to have black tea just for the caffeine. So the equivalent of coffee. But the British Empire was built on cups of tea and hard drugs. So it, it's very much got a warm
So
place
what's-
in our hearts. As the gin and tonics that also allowed us to, unfortunately, conquer a lot of the world and just rob them blind, I guess. Hey ho.
Yeah, milk tea. Man, even
Don't have too many sugars though. I like it black. The typical builder's tea, they chuck about 3 or 4 sugars in, but maybe 1 or 2 is the kind of perfect amount.
when you guys go get boba, what do you guys get?
No, I don't drink bubble tea. But is that what
Really?
you're referring to? Bubble tea?
Yes,
Boba?
because even like we have like boba shops here, right? And boba shops is it's supposed to be like bubble tea, but I've never gotten tea from a boba shop, but I get coffee. So,
From a bubble tea shop.
yes. I don't even know if they
I've
sell
never
tea.
had
I think they
bubble
only
tea.
sell
I don't actually
coffee.
know what it
I
is.
don't know.
Probably. I know it exists. I've heard of the concept. I've seen the shops. Bubble tea is just for Chinese, apparently. I've no idea. I know they drink a lot of herbal teas, and I don't mind herbal teas. Like, that's okay. Like a bit of chamomile in the evening to relax you and calm you. It's quite nice.
You guys have never had bubble tea? That's so crazy to me. Do you
I don't
guys?
know, it's just
Do you
not one
guys?
of those
There's
things. I
plenty of
don't know what
bubble
it
tea
is,
in
so I'm
here.
not going to go and buy it.
Do you guys
'cause I know it'll
not
cost me,
have
like-
Asian friends growing up? I feel like if you're with an Asian friend group, half the places you hang out with is like a boba place.
I think there were 2 Asian kids in my year, and I
Just
I was
2?
friends with them,
But
Just
Yeah,
isn't
it-
bubble
it's-
tea a new thing? Like, wasn't it just
I'm sure it is.
discovered like 10 years ago? I think bubble tea happened like 10 years ago in here.
I did
something
not
like
realize
that.
it was a new thing. I thought it's existed since the beginning of time. I don't
Of
know.
course not.
That's really interesting. I only had 2 disco monks in my class.
But I actually never tried drinking hot tea with sugar in it. I usually just drink chamomile tea. And
The
hot
chamomile is quite nice to
Yeah.
relax, but again,
Oh, you
herbal tea
crafted the 100? Okay.
is very different to black tea, which is what we like over here.
yeah, I really don't. I've tried several teas. Like, is it called Twinnings? That's a
Yeah.
British brand, right?
Wait, did you
And
craft?
I really don't. Really didn't
Don't
like
like
the
it.
Earl Grey.
Did you craft
Earl
all
Grey.
blues?
Earl Grey
Yeah.
is different to regular black tea. It has got quite a distinct taste. Not all British people like Earl Grey, even though that is sort of a more traditional
Maybe I
one,
need a
in a
refresh.
sense.
Yeah, so basically when I'm choosing tea, it's just like the fruits flavor and then chamomile. It's either the 2 of those.
Oh yeah, I've had things like raspberry
there
tea
we
and
go.
so forth. It's quite nice.
I had to refresh. Unfortunately,
It's not a bad set.
no M word, but
No M word, but we crafted like 4.
I mean, that's not
Wow.
going.
Four
Considering this
epics.
was going to the kind of top 10, I think that's a good result. We got some decent rares in there by the looks of things. Plenty of those.
yeah.
So
We've
who
got a few
receives
epics
those
to give
scraps?
around.
Top 10 of the Rune Royale.
No,
I
the
mean
top 10
the-
of Evolution
season.
Season 2.
Alright.
So obviously the first place player, I believe it's Chaos Myth, will be getting the highest. And the 10th place player on the leaderboard will be getting the 10th highest. So it goes in order, basically. So unfortunately, Sassy Boy, you may not have gotten the cube, but you do get a nice 95% socks. So congratulations, guys.
Congrats.
Libtekken likes passion fruit. I don't know if that's just tea or just passion fruit. Anyway, I like passion fruit. It's tasty.
Is passion fruit the one that doesn't taste like anything?
It's
No.
definitely got a distinct taste.
No, okay. I might be thinking of something else.
It's-
There's wait, let
Passion
me.
fruit's
It's
like
the one with seeds,
almost
right?
slightly
The one
sour.
with too many seeds.
Too many
No,
seeds.
dragon fruit is the one that doesn't taste like anything, even though it sounds really
Yeah,
cool. Dragon
dragon-
fruit, but it doesn't taste like
yeah.
anything.
There's actually 2 colors of it, and it doesn't make any difference, right?
It's maybe.
Whether it's the white one or the. I remember when I was a kid, I was really so excited. Wow, it's a dragon fruit. Must taste awesome, and it looks like cookies and cream when you open it. But when I tasted it, I was really disappointed.
Maybe it's a taste that only dragons can taste.
Do you know that it's a cactus? A dragon fruit is a cactus.
Well, that
It's
explains a lot.
cactus, No wonder it.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
It's,
Stick it back in the
I've
desert
seen
for
a
another
dragon
200
fruit,
years, see if it tastes
plant.
better. Make it vintage.
It's like a big cactus that creeps.
That creeps?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Because cactuses are like it's like a vine cactus, right? That crawls to whichever it's hanging on to.
I've never seen a cactus
You
crawl.
talking about vampire cactuses, like
Well, because cactus is the one that I have in mind are like standing up straight, right?
Yes, that's what a cactus does.
Dragon fruit is it? It's like a grape cactus that crawls whatever it's attached to.
I don't think plants crawl, Maiev. They're
It's like
rooted into the
vines.
ground and
What?
everything.
Vine scrolls, right? On a
No,
grape vine,
no,
it
they don't
crawls
crawl. They grow.
But they will attach themselves to whatever they're hanging onto, right?
What?
They'll
Okay.
grow around something.
They
Yeah.
crawl in horror movies, for sure.
No,
Sure,
it
you're right
sticks
there,
up.
but
What do
it's
you
something
mean?
like
I'm
that.
looking at a dragon fruit plant right now. They're just cactuses with like bulges.
Weird flowers.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere, Maiev.
Come on. I have a neighbor who has a dragon fruit in.
Are you sure it's not like a dog or something? Maybe it's a dog with a t-shirt on, like one of those doggy sweatshirts.
Or it's like one of those, like, I don't know what they're called, those red berries that stick to you when you go hiking. They're like those seed pod things. Do you get those?
Tumbleweeds? Is it not
I don't know if they're
tumbleweeds?
tumbleweeds or something, but
They're
they're
like small, right?
yeah, small little balls.
Yeah,
and
I
you
know what
just,
you're
like,
talking
walk
about. I
through a
know what you're
bush
talking
and They
about.
just all get stuck to you, and there's like 100 of them. You've got to peel them off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's
We
what stuck to me.
we learned about dragon fruit today. Very productive. Very productive stream, guys.
At least you know that there's 2 colors of it. It doesn't taste
A
anything.
flavorless, annoying, multicolored cacti that serves no purpose except to maybe stick to you.
We can have a dragon fruit cactus cameo in an Evo somewhere.
Yeah.
You'd be Steve's friend.
Are you guys familiar with Marlboro and Final Fantasy? Those plants with plenty of tentacles.
Is that what you're
Hounds
thinking
with
of when you said
tentacles.
crawl?
Do they stick to you?
The Marlboro monster in Final Fantasy. Not sure if you guys are familiar with that.
I never played Final Fantasy, to be honest.
Never. But like
I-
7 and 8 were like the ultimate games.
I
That's all you
tried
could get.
a tiny bit to play Final Fantasy Tactics, but that's all.
Panda's
It's
too young for
actually
that.
not the
from,
best.
from a boot
It's
sale.
actually not the best Final Fantasy to start with if you're playing tactics, because it's a very like a round lasts for like 15 minutes.
Did the FF7 remake come out? You should play that when it comes out.
It's
I
just
haven't tried that
it
one.
was never like I don't know. For me, I've always thought of like Final Fantasy, and then there's like Fire Emblem, and Fire Emblem has always been the one that I go towards, even though I think they're not really that similar games. But like
I
in
don't
my
think they are,
mind,
they're just
yeah, I thought of them as
RPGs.
like
But isn't Fire Emblem like a turn-based game?
it is, yes.
Yeah, they.
So yeah, so if you're
But
playing
Final
Fire
Fantasy
Emblem,
was sort of back then, wasn't it, in terms of like battles and stuff?
Oh, I
Yeah.
played
Panda.
Final Fantasy the MMO. I played that for like maybe 2 hours.
Ah,
Final Fantasy
latest
was
one?
revolutionary, but probably largely just because of the graphics, I think. For the time, anyway. It's definitely not revolutionary now.
yeah, like unless you were playing FF10 in like the year 2000, it wasn't really revolutionary.
Yeah.
And maybe now it's kind of a good one, but it's not like really revolutionary. Anyway, FF7 remake, it's half price on PlayStation Store. Go get it, Panda.
I don't have a PlayStation.
Buy a PlayStation. Get that discount.
you can buy it on Steam, right?
Maybe if the PlayStation was half off as well. I never.
Is F7 remake on Steam now? I'm not sure.
Uh,
I only have Nintendo consoles. That might be a reason why I've never played Final Fantasy. I
Yeah,
only
it's
have
on
Nintendo
Steam.
consoles.
Final
You're right,
Fantasy
it is.
7 is on Steam. It's like
$30.
$50.
Is
There
Final
you go.
Fantasy 7 actually 7 or is it like 9 or 10?
7.
7. It's well regarded as the best FF. Like
Mhm.
Yeah,
there'll be
they
some
say
people
that
who would be like,
it's- Well, I actually haven't played
This-
Final Fantasy 7 on the PSX console, so
You get debate between 7 and 8, but 7 is typically referenced. But
That's-
again, I suspect it is largely because that's when the graphics went
not
3D,
like 8.
and then
Really
8
don't
was
like
the
8.
follow up, which is also the reason why. I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
gold, rose tinted glasses being worn.
Which Final Fantasy is the one with Sephiroth?
It's 7.
Oh, is that 7? Is that the one that they made the movie
Yeah.
out of? I watched the movie. I
Oh,
kind of like the
was
movie.
amazing. That
7
again,
has
like, it was
the
a shit
most-
movie, but the graphics were amazing
Yeah,
at the time.
I thought the movie. Yeah, I thought it looked really cool.
There are several games made out of Final Fantasy 7. There's even like a shooting game I played in the PS2 where you played as Vincent. I think it's called Dirge of Cerberus, something like that. But I
never
really
played
like
that.
Final Fantasy 9. Final Fantasy 9.
Oh.
And probably my favorite was 12.
Okay, since we're on the topic of Final Fantasy, can you guys explain Final Fantasy to me? Is there a connection between Final Fantasy like 7 and Final Fantasy like 17?
None.
None? So they're all, like
of it,
different
all
universes,
of it
everything?
is unrelated. Yeah.
I see. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just games, Panda.
Yeah, it's just a
Don't look
name,
into
right?
it too much.
Yeah.
okay, so the Final Fantasy movie, guess how long it took? How many processors do you think it took for how long to render that?
Oh, I can't remember now. I remember reading at the time. It was like crazy what they put into that.
So
It was something like each, because they rendered like each individual strand of hair as well, which is something you can sort of do to an extent on more modern like cards, with things like Trez effects like the Tomb Raider introduced. But back then, like rendering individual hairs was just unheard of and just crazy, like supercomputer
was-
equivalent.
Now guess 48,000 hours.
48,000 hours?
Yeah. Am I close?
Where the hell did you get that number?
I don't know. I just guessed.
Where do you even get that? So that's okay. So that's 200 days. 200 days, right? Take that and multiply it by 1,000. Actually, 2,000. It was 1,000 computers rendering it for a year and a half.
So how many hours is that?
That's exactly. That's 2,000 more hours than what you said. Because you said, how many hours did you say?
I said 48,000.
which is
48,000,
200
yeah.
days. Did you say?
200 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
200 days
all
for
of
one
Final
processor.
Fantasies? Or
But
is
then
it
there's
is it just one?
365 days in a year, so a year and a half would be like double that, wouldn't it?
But it's 1,000 workstations,
So you're saying
not just one.
it was 50,000 hours times 1,000?
times 2000 actually, because it's zero and a
Yeah,
half.
okay.
Is it for just one Final Fantasy, or is it for
It,
all?
it, no, it was for the Spirit Within, that like landmark 3D movie where they were
Movie?
rendering hairs. Yeah, the first big movie.
Wow.
Wait,
Didn't
I thought it was
realize
called like
it was-
Advent Children or something.
That's a different movie.
That's a different movie? God damn it.
Yeah, Advent Children's Final Fantasy VII. Spirits Within is not related to anything.
Let me see. Did
So
you guys?
Did you watch the Spirit Within?
I did when I was a kid.
Did
Do you-
you, Pen?
No.
No, I didn't. I only watched
I watched
Advent
it one.
Children.
Okay, so that's why you said it was a good movie, because the Spirit Within was not a good movie.
Yeah.
It was a shitty movie, but they did really amazing graphics for the time.
Yeah, Disco froze.
I haven't. Yeah, I have unfortunately.
Or are you just sitting very still? What you do, you
I
do that
was
sometimes.
actually doing a bit, but I have started moving and realised my camera's not. So I haven't been frozen. I'm glad we've got to the end of the stream at least.
Yeah, we did. We're just talking about Final Fantasy now. Did you guys play the MMO? I know a lot of people like the MMO.
I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I played it, but I mean, it's not bad, right? It's better than World of Warcraft, but I think people kind of play it because they don't have anything else good to play.
I couldn't get
Funny
into
enough,
it.
you say that. Like the reason I used to play RPGs when I was younger is because first-person shooters didn't really exist. But now, as soon as first-person shooters came out, I just kind of stopped playing RPGs. Just started shooting stuff.
What do you play? What shooters do you play?
To be honest, I mainly play Battlefield. Once that came out,
Ah.
then or once I kind of got into that, just because it's very different. Call of Duty and basically every other first-person shooter is all about fast-paced reaction time shooting, whereas I like to be a bit more strategic and thoughtful and assess the battlefield and get into that kind of almost simulation type of shooting.
It's exactly what Panda said. It's a social experience, right? Like people who play FF, they play it for the social experience, not really for the game.
It's really pretty. Like the character art, it looks
Oh, yeah.
really nice. It's just I tried it. I couldn't really get into it because for me, like the combat was kind of like you select a target and you press a button and then it does the ability. I came from like playing like Terra, and Terra the combat is more, I don't know, dynamic. I don't know how to describe it, but it's different, You have to like move and dodge and things like that.
Yeah, that was Terra's thing, right? Is every MMO was target based until Terra, essentially.
Was it really?
It's very hard.
Huh.
Yeah, Terra was the one that said, "Hey, like let's stop with the target stuff,"
Hmm.
which I totally agreed with, But it's technically very difficult to do that.
A ruined metaverse version of the first Final Fantasy
When was their release?
for NES. Was Final Fantasy on NES? I thought Final Fantasy was on PlayStation. I don't know, man.
The hell?
The first one. The first iterations of Final Fantasy was in the family computer, I believe.
What is a family computer?
You're not familiar with the family computer?
Is that just a computer? Or is that something different?
No, it's like a console. No,
Why is it
okay.
called a family computer?
I don't
Is
know
that
what
like the
brand is it.
Famicom entertainment system? Is like the family.
Oh, is it
computer.
Famicom? Is that the family computer? Is that what it stands for?
Yeah,
it-
that's what Famicom was.
Oh.
Oh, so you call it differently there.
We call it
It's always been called the family computer here. Then SNES came out.
A family computer in my mind is that computer that I had in like 2004 where, my entire family used one
That your
computer.
family
Yeah.
uses.
Yeah. like back in the day, there was just one computer in the entire house.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I used to,
Super Famicom.
I love a SNES. I do have a SNES Mini actually. It's just like a USB. and with a HDMI in the back of it, and it's got like 10, 15 games or something on it. The modern minis, it was quite handy. But then they released all the games on the Switch, and it made you think, well, what's the point in that SNES?
Well, they don't have perfect emulation, though, right? There is one console, handheld console, that has perfect emulation. Because they use like ASIC technology, like programmable hardware boards. I don't know what it's called.
Oh yeah, I think there's like really, really crazy money goes into like true emulation for like older consoles, and CRT technology as well for TVs is like massively overpriced compared to regular, like even OLED technology is mental.
The analog pocket, and so what they did was they created like the handheld that, and then you can add adapters, and the adapter is it's the hardware is coded exactly to emulate the original system. So they're going to keep adding them so you can get all these systems on your handhelds,
Oh, nice.
which is game changing. Because before it was just software.
I like how Disco is still frozen.
To be honest, I don't feel like I've actually moved that much
Probably not.
from where I froze. I'm getting a bit half cut now, and it's like 2 a.m, and I'm thinking I've got to be up in 5 hours for the school run.
Yeah, I am surprised you are still here. Usually, you know.
Like I wouldn't miss the rune streams for the world, apart from my wedding and moving house. I think the only two reasons that I've missed any sort of streams.
Well, we're glad that you have your priorities straight, Disco.
Exactly. Although I probably should go to bed, because otherwise I'll be tempted to pour another gin, and then I definitely won't get up in the morning.
It's gonna be
I'm starting
a
to
sick
slur
day.
my speech a bit already, so I think it's definitely coming time.
That's great, because otherwise, instead of having your kid say, "Is it a snow day?" he's gonna say, "Is it a ruin day?" Really, your dad even
every month is a rune day. Less so, fortunately, once the clocks go into out of British summertime and back into daylight savings, because then we start an hour earlier, and it's not quite as bad when we finish. It's like 1 a.m. rather than 2 a.m, and that's a bit more palatable.
We appreciate you spending your nights with us, Disco. What would we do without you? You're the only one out of us that can articulate very well.
Yeah.
And Eki speaks really well. And Matt. We miss Matt. Man, Matt hasn't been on in a while, huh?
I think we do need to drag him on. So interestingly, he is tied up very much in the crypto world, looking getting involved, I think, in a hackathon with the Bank of England CBDC. So yeah, doing very exciting stuff. Clearly, they heard about him in the basement. I mean, the government, they're always going to tap in everywhere, aren't they? And unfortunately did locate him. We are but men. We tried but couldn't quite keep him in the basement. So we're hoping that now the military will day release him to us, so we can come and do a bit more transmuting, which is luckily all his parts done on that, but there's other stuff that he can do for us. But yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what he's got to say for himself following that. Definitely won't be receiving his desserts each week in the cage once he goes back in, but yeah, it would be great to bring him on and give us some sort of an update. And I'm sure I'd imagine maybe when transmuting is a bit closer to release, or some other major update that he's worked on, he might come and enlighten us while receiving that little bit of daylight that he's allowed once a year.
Yeah, we miss Matt for sure. Okay, I think that's a good point for us to wrap up. We've been we've been talking for quite a while, even after Rune Royale. So
We've talked tea, we've talked Final Fantasy, we've talked Matt in a basement,
and Dragonfruit and
Dragon
cactuses.
fruit.
Don't forget about that.
fruit and cactus.
We learned a lot. Thanks.
Yeah, I think the lesson was don't eat dragon fruit. It's boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out with us and for staying by even after even after the tournament. We love
And
you
yes,
all.
Sassy Boy, season 3. I've got a feeling it's your season.
Yeah, man, you're almost there. You're just a little bit off both the regular season and the tournament. So just push a little bit harder and you got it. We'll see you guys all later. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you soon.
See
Bye,
you.
everyone.
See you.
Bye bye.